Hey everybody, this is Aaron Trevino. Welcome back to our real estate and construction channel down here in the state of Texas. We have a guest from the state of Florida. Specifically, we have Rony from the Orlando area. How you doing today, Rony?
Doing great. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad we could connect. I know we talked about it's kind of funny hearing a Texan and a Floridian talking about how it's cold now, but you were talking about how some people in Florida were still trying to handle the new cold weather we have, right?
Oh, yes. I know it's like 60 over here, 60 something, but for us, it's cool. Like when I speak with people in the north, they think that's perfect weather, but to us, it's cold weather.
All right. Well, I'm glad I'm glad you're staying warm in the 60-degree weather. Ronnie, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. I know a little bit about your background, but for those of us who aren't too familiar with you, could you introduce yourself and talk about what you do in the real estate business?
Well, I'm a real estate investor, or also I'm a real estate agent also. So, but I started as a real estate investor back in 2012. So when I tell people that, they say they surprised because that the time where a lot of people was getting out of real estate, and that's when I jump in. So one thing I like when Warren Buffett say, when everybody's selling, you should be buying. When everybody is buying, you should be selling. So at that time, everybody was selling. So then that's why I jump in to start buying. And it was really great because I had some money saved. So I jump in. My first property it was a very small one. It was a three-bedroom, one bath. I got it for 16,000, but the market value was 70,000. Yeah. So what I did, when I acquired that property, I refinanced it. So to get more money. And there was a renter already in the property paying rent. So when I refinanced it, I got money to buy more property and flip them and repeat in rents.
Hmm. That's neat. I guess it's a testament to your courage, right? Because you use that Warren Buffett quote and you talked about how a lot of people were getting out of the business, but that was when you got in.
Yes. Yeah, it was like a scary moment. But to me, when things bad happen, you should look at the good side and see how you can benefit from it. So if you don't do it that way, you're going to be a victim. But I refuse to be a victim. So I want to take advantage of the situation.
Absolutely. And did you continue doing those sorts of deals? I know you talked a bit about you being able to refinance, and there was obviously a renter in that house as well, and it just kind of compounded from there. But did you continue with those sorts of single family deals or different types?
Yes, I continued doing it for a long time. Then something happened. It was 2000, um, about 2015, 2016. I had a problem where a lot of property I had, it was like three properties that was sitting there and nobody can buy them. People like them, they want to buy, but the bank wasn't financing. So that was like a bad experience for me at the time. So I lost three properties that way because the bank wasn't financing. It was like the bank, what is it? Uh, they was like trying to control the bank the way they was lending. So at first they was lending like crazy, give everybody a loan, even if they don't have proof of income.
Mhm.
So I think when Obama got in office, he was trying to fix that. And because of that, the bank wasn't lending money.
Mm.
And then These people they want to buy, but they wasn't able to buy. So
Absolutely.
yes, that was a very bad experience for me,
Mm.
and that's got me out of the game for a little while. So, but after a while, I reinvented myself. So now I don't do flip anymore. So I don't do rehab anymore. I do it a different way. So now I do tax lien and tax deed.
Okay. Could you explain maybe the benefits of doing tax lien or tax deed compared to something like a flip?
Well, when you do flip, there is a lot of money you will make, but you can lose money too if you don't do your due diligence right, and you can lose money. But tax deed and tax lien, you're doing business with the government. If you do it the right way, there is zero chance to lose money. And they're always available. When you're doing flip, you try to find property. You have bird dog out there. You have like wholesale people that you're talking to some to see if you can find properties. Uh, Sometime in the market, it's easy to find properties, but sometimes it's not. So with tax lien and tax deed, they always available because people have to pay their taxes and people always late on their taxes. So when I do that, I pay the taxes for them. I do tax lien and tax deed in Florida, and I do tax lien in Texas. So in Florida, they pay me 18%. Think about it. I pay, let's say I pay 2,000 for someone, and next day they come and pay their taxes. Now the government going to give me 18%. And that money was there for about just one day or a week or a month. And if they don't pay their taxes back, I can file for deed and I get the property free and clear.
And
So
could you explain what it's 18% of what again?
18%, like if they owe 2,000 on their taxes and they were late, so I buy that tax deed. So I pay the 2,000 for them. If they want to, when they pay the county, they're going to have to pay the county 2,000 plus 18%.
Mm, okay.
That 18% is mine.
Mm,
But I never see meet the owner, and the owner doesn't know, I mean, who I am. They only know they're dealing with this county, and I'm dealing directly with the county,
mm.
not the owner.
Wow. It
Yeah,
sounds like that's a little better than a flip where you're putting money into a project and of course you're not going to see it for at least a few months, whereas something like a tax deed, it's a little bit more straightforward. And you said the stream of deals is continual because it is the government.
exactly. With tax lien, I mean, flipping, I love it. It's just for the fun of it. But there's a lot of risk.
And what would the risk? I guess obviously losing money, but what are there any specific risks that you could run with that compared to doing a flip?
Uh, with tax deed, the only way to get, I mean, to lose money if you don't do your due diligence.
Mm.
Because I remember someone he was telling me his story. I'm like, I can't say the name. He thought about a property, but what he bought, it was like a little piece of land. I mean, there is no way he can build anything on that land. Too small. Like just like a little place for a mailbox. But he thought he bought the property, but it wasn't the property he bought. But when you look at it on the county website, it looked like it was the property. So he was excited about it. But when he filed for deed, that's all he got, that little piece of land where he cannot do anything with that little land.
Wow.
So if you don't do your due diligence, yeah, you can lose money. But it's really hard to lose money
Hmm.
on that.
And I guess I'm just curious because it seems like if you're doing a flip or if you're doing a new construction project, you would have a survey ordered, right? So you'd be able to see, okay, let's see what I'm going to purchase. How big is this? Whereas for a tax deed, I guess you're not able to order a survey, but how exactly would you know how big is, what's coming along with this deal, right? Like,
Mhm. There is a software, if you go and, I mean, anyone who want to do tax lien and tax deed, you have to get prop stream.
mm,
That's where you're going to tell you exactly on prop stream, you're going to see exactly what you got.
hmm
But if you take the chance to do it without that software, you're just taking a big chance.
mm,
It might be okay. All right, let me give you an example. My first tax lien deal, uh, I got the deed, but I refused. I mean, I got a tax lien, a tax deed, I'm sorry, but I refused to get it. I refuse it because there is nothing I can do with it. That
mm,
was my first one. I was trying to see how it works. It was only like $30, so no big deal. But
mm,
if it was like 30,000 something, yeah, it will affect me. But I was trying to do it to see if it works for real.
mm.
So I lost $30, no big deal.
So I'm curious, how does that go? Let's say that I have $30 in my pocket and I want to spend it on at least learning the process. I go to some sort of county record, I pay the $30, and then what would happen?
So what you do, a lot of people they go to auction,
Hmm.
but I don't go to auction because when you go to auction, a lot of people go into that auction, and you even have investors outside of country. They send their people to that auction. So it's a fight. I don't want to do that. So what I do, I go to the county. Some of them you can go to the website and then you download the list and then you pick and choose what you want. And they call that over the counter.
Hmm.
That was tax deed that was it sold on the auction. And a lot of people think if it wasn't sold in the auction, it got to be bad. No, the auction can last maybe like 2 hours. They don't have enough time to sell all of them. So those that need sold in the auction, you can get them over the counter. So you can go to the county website, you download them. Now you have time to look at them to see which one you want. My advice for people who just want to start, do it like a place like in your county, somewhere you can drive and see what you're getting. And then after you get better, you feel comfortable. Now you can buy in other places like other anywhere in the country. But it's good to start where you live.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense. I guess, especially how you mentioned that mailbox example of this guy thought he had this great deal, and it turns out it was just a piece of what he thought was a larger deal, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I heard a lot of a lot of story like that. A lot of people got that. But like myself, it wasn't like a mailbox. It was like a big piece of land, but it was nothing I can do with that land.
Mm,
It was useless.
sure. And I guess the idea, I mean, let's say that you did have I don't know, maybe a vacant lot. Would the intention be, hey, I want to build a home on it and then sell it, or maybe sell the land to a builder? I'm just trying to think what would a few exit strategies look like for these sorts of deals?
Yeah, I like that question. Whenever you get to a real estate deal, you have to know your exit strategy. So my exit strategy is to keep it. Sometimes I keep it, sometimes I wholesale it because they have a lot of investors like flip, I mean people that flipping and stuff, rehabbing, they want deals. When you can get a deal, you can give them like 70% of where they can make money, less than the market value, 70% less than market value, they jump on it. And I can even sometimes I give it to them like 80% less than the market value
Mm.
because I got it really cheap. I can do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I always ask about the exit strategy because it seems like there's so many different ways to go, but it sounds like you either keep it or you wholesale it, you said?
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
keep it, I wholesale it, if it's at the house, even though I don't like rehabbing, what I do, if it's not really in bad shape, I can I put it for rent to own, and I got a big chunk of money in the front. And then people, the reason I like rent to own, when people know one day that house is going to belong to them, they do not trash your house. And many times, when that period ends, you think they're going to buy, they don't buy.
Mm,
And if they still stay after the rental agreement, they have to give you another deposit again.
mm,
And because the first deposit they gave you, they lose that money.
mm.
Or they can leave and then you do the same, I mean, you do the same thing again with somebody else.
See. So I'm not familiar with rent to own. What would that look like? They put some sort of sizable deposit down, make payments over time, and the idea is, hey, I'm either going to buy it or I'm not, and then the next person comes, or is that how does it work?
Yeah, rent to own, it's a lot of people that they want to buy a house, but for some reason their credit is not there yet. So they have to get work on their credit to qualify. So with rent to own, they come with like a large of amount of down payment. The least I do is they have to come up with 10,000 at the least
Mm,
that I do, but people do it for less or more. Um, and they pay in their rent after they give you that monthly, that big chunk, lump sum, and they pay their rent every month. And they can do it like for a year or 2 years. And at the end of that period, they can decide to buy the house. If they buy the house, you're going to give them credit for all the monthly payment they made.
mm.
If they don't, they can walk away, but you don't have to give them the deposit back.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see. I see. And is that a strategy that you've, the rent to own strategy, is that something that you've done uh, as of recent, or is it something that you started doing that you've really just liked the concept of doing it and you just kept doing it, or?
I started doing rent to own after um, I took a course with Grande. He's in St. Augustine, Florida. He was my mentor. He was like, this guy love rent to own. And so that's when I started doing it. It was like 2019.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for that. I mean, frankly, that's the first we've ever really talked on rent to own on any of the shows. So I'm always interested in different ways people are doing deals.
Yes. They have a lot of strategies out there. Rent to own, yeah, instead of selling, I like rent to own instead. If I'm not going to do rent to own, I prefer to do either like if I don't want to do any repair on that, I just do a wholesale. Just let
Mm.
somebody do it.
Sure. Are there any other sort of creative financing strategies or any other sort of investing strategies that you really enjoy doing?
Oh yes, like I enjoy like when you have a property like you don't have the money to do it now.
Mm.
You get a friend or somebody you know have that money,
Hmm.
and then you do everything. That's sweat equity. You do everything, and then the person come with that money.
Mm.
And then when we make the deal, you sell the house, the property. Now you can do 50-50 or 60-40, depend on the agreement.
So that would be, I guess, a JV or a joint venture agreement. Is that what that is? Or
W- Well, it's still, yeah, it's almost like that, but it's most of the time when people say JV, it's two investors that doing the deal.
mm,
But the other person, let's say that you have a lawyer friend. The lawyer doesn't know anything about, he or she doesn't know anything about real estate. You're going to do everything. I don't really call it JV. The JV is like, I call JV like when let's say I have a house, a property for sale, and then they have a wholesaler that one already have a buyer, but he doesn't have the money to give to me. So we can do a JV, joint venture, so I can give him some money.
mm,
Like I can split it 50-50, or if I get like a wholesale, I want to wholesale something, and there's another wholesaler. The wholesaler got a buyer. I don't have a buyer, so we split it 50-50.
okay.
Mhm.
Nice. I guess that's another creative strategy that you mentioned. I guess the I know you mentioned before about the paying to own, right?
Yeah,
Really just being able to find different ways to do deals.
yes, that when you get to a deal, you have to find at least four exit strategies.
Mm,
See how you're going to get out of the deal. Or, and I'm talking by experience because if you don't know if you have only one or two strategy, it's bad. You need to have at least four exit.
yeah, that's four exits. That's definitely covering your bases and making sure that you
Yeah,
certainly have an exit no matter what goes wrong.
exactly.
Yeah,
If you have four exit, there is no way you're going to lose on that deal.
sure.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Well, I'm curious, really how the industry's been over the past few years, right? Because we know that a number of years ago, post-COVID, there were a lot of changes in the economy and a lot of money being pumped into the economy, people spending, people buying, um, and a lot's changed over the past few years. I'm just curious, from the investing standpoint, what do you think about the next few years, or what types of real estate deals are you looking to do in the future?
Um, yes, so I'm not really heavy on like rehabbing, like I was explaining. I'm more on tax lien and tax deed now. But if I find like a deal I can't refuse, I will do it.
Yeah.
But I'm more leaning to tax lien and tax deed. And now also I'm helping people with that already have a mortgage. I don't know if that's something that we want to talk about since we're in
Yeah.
real estate. I think
Yeah.
I need to mention that.
Yeah.
I use a strategy to help people pay their 30-year mortgage in 11 years or less with their current income. And when I tell that to people, they don't believe it, how it's going to happen. But there is a way I do it. I'm also a financial coach.
Mm.
So I combine my real estate experience and a financial code experience together. I help a lot of people pay off their 30-year mortgage in 11 years or less.
Absolutely. And those people who are looking to I guess maybe to gain some clarity of mind and just say, hey, I don't have any more payments after this, after 11 years. Um, what's the big benefit of doing that, of paying the mortgage off as soon as you can?
Well, not everybody agree with it, but for some people it works for them. It doesn't work for everybody. because a lot of people in the middle class, what they worry about, they don't want to be in debt. That the middle class mindset. So I work with these people to help them achieve that. But when they pay off their mortgage, so it's like there's another strategy we have to do. The money that was paying the mortgage, they need to invest that money. And then I work with them where to invest it and how to do it if that's what they want to do. But some people, they just want to get the money and travel. And people can do whatever they want with their money.
Absolutely. I guess it's a matter of, what your specific goals are. But you brought up a really interesting point about that middle class mindset. Could you describe more about maybe a few things as a financial coach that you see that are maybe just some hangups for people or maybe some misconceptions that they think about investing and getting started?
Yes, the middle class mindset, these people, they just want to be comfortable. They want to be out of debt. I don't know if you listen to Dave Ramsey.
Hmm.
So it's like a hero for the middle class because that's who we work with. Uh, just pay off your debt and you'll be debt free, then everything is perfect. And these people, they just want to be comfortable. They doesn't, I mean, they don't think really about investing and stuff. They don't not want to be rich. That's not what in their mind. Some people even tell me that. They say they do not care about getting rich. That's not what they want. So these people, I work with them uh, as a financial coach. So that's when I work with someone, I ask them what they want to achieve, what a perfect life will be for them. And based on what they tell me, I design a plan for them.
Absolutely. And that's a great way to look at it as well because, there's so much information out there and it's a lot of it can make you really dizzy and confused, right? I mean, you're hearing so many different things in the media and you just want some guidance on where to go, right?
Exactly. Yeah, like the vehicle I use to achieve that is called infinite banking.
Mm.
I'm not sure if you heard about it before, but it's up there now. Everybody talk about infinite banking, but it's like it's just very few people doing it the right way. And but a lot of, I mean, it's very big, it's very noisy. I mean, everybody talking about it, like, but it doesn't work the same way for everyone. That's why I stopped talking about it, and it's not for everyone too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely. That's some great insight there. Is there anything that you haven't said, Ronnie, that you'd really just like to hit home for us in terms of maybe your financial coaching or any sort of investing or what you have to look forward to in the future?
Well, I just want to talk a little bit about how I started.
Sure.
Uh, when I started in real estate, I took a class from those two guys, Dave and Pete. They had a show on A&E, Flipping Boston, and it was a 3-day class. After the class was between no Friday to Sunday. Then on Monday, I bought my first property. That's
Mm.
16,000 I was telling you. A lot of time people don't take action. They get the knowledge, but they don't take action. So I like to take action fast. So yeah, the class ended on Sunday night, and on Monday I got my first property. I went to Craigslist and I see a property and I see, well, the price was good and 3 bedroom, 1 bath, a tenant already there. So I went for it.
Mm.
So that's how I started. So my advice for people, after you get the knowledge, just don't sit on it. Act fast. Because if you don't act fast, you're going to even forget what you learned and don't do anything.
Mm. Absolutely. That's some great advice really for anything across the board, right?
Yes. And I always advise people to get a mentor. Uh, but don't spend your first chunk of money on a mentor because you want to invest. That's what you got. That's why you got in real estate. You want to invest. Now, try if you want to get a mentor, don't pay that first chunk of money on the mentor. What you do, you try to get a deal. You can work with a mentor, offer your service or how you can help them and offer something. Don't ask for help, like offer your help instead to a mentor. Because a mentor, they have stuff that they're doing you can do for them so that can free up their time to do other stuff. And you learn that way while you're helping a mentor. I mean, yes. And then now you start making money, you need to pay to learn more stuff. You pay your mentor. Soon you start making some money. Pay a mentor to learn more.
Absolutely. That's some great insight there, Ronnie.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we know that you've been in a lot of different parts of the business, right? You talked about uh, some lessons learned, obviously tax deeds, the liens, different way to work deals, and of course making sure you have that financial foundation to be able to invest. Um, so is there anything else you'd really just like to hit home for us?
Let me see. Uh, well, I think that's about it if you don't have any question for me.
But yeah, no, that's good. Unless you have anything, but it's been a pleasure, Ronnie, really having you on the show and chatting with you tonight about your experience in different facets of the business. And I really enjoyed that learning about tax deeds and different ways to invest. So if you guys are listening, maybe you're in Central Florida, maybe here in Texas or another part of the country, we'll make sure to have Ronnie's information in the description of the video if you want to connect with him. So, Ronnie, thank you again so much for sitting down with us. It's been a pleasure.
All the pleasure was mine.
All right, very good. All right, y'all. We are signing off with Ronnie from Central Florida, and we will talk to y'all next time.
Thank you.